welcome to another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. I'm your host, Brian Gossett with GM Sports Media, and today's guest is Paige Flickinger. I think she's one of the best high school volleyball players ever, all time in Texas. She's state champ with Byron Nelson, graduated in 2020, and a two-time Gatorade Texas Player of the Year. She just wrapped up her time at LSU, 4 years in indoor volleyball, 2 years at beach, and she'll be finishing out her last year at Maramont in California. Paige, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
All right, so you played beach and indoor at LSU. What was a more fun experience, do you think?
And say, yeah, I get this question all the time. I'll preface it with indoor. I love the game. I love the speed. And I feel like there's just nothing like being able to get up and crack on a ball. But at LSU, I did have a great time with the beach team. I got to do some pretty amazing things I get up every day, I go to practice, I'm in the sand, I'm outside. That's always a lot of fun. And this past year, especially, we got to go to California for spring break. So we were up there, we just practiced right by the ocean in the sun every day. I mean, what wasn't much to complain about. But yeah, great experience with both, but love the game of indoor a little bit more.
Yeah, for beach, didn't you guys go to the tournament and even win a game?
Oh yeah, we went to the tournament and I think end up like tying for third. They don't play those out, but made it to the final four. We won a couple games, but had a really great time there too and a great finish to our season.
Awesome. So, I mean, overall, how would you describe your LSU career?
I describe that probably just the big word of grateful. I mean, LSU probably treats their athletes like, kings and queens. We got so much help from support staff in the aspect of, we have nutrition, we have like a cafeteria for us. I mean, NIL help, pretty much any type of help you think an athlete could need. LSU provide that for us and really did their best to help us become the best athletes and people that we could have been. And of course, the gear doesn't hurt. They treat us very well in that regard too. But yeah, I'd say grateful. I can't imagine a lot of other schools have what we have or even have more. So yeah, grateful to LSU and everything I got from that experience for sure.
Well, at Byron Nelson, I think you finished with over 2,000 kills and 2,000 digs. I think you were, at least when it comes to outside hitters, probably one of the tops playing defense. And I know you started off, was this right? You went in as an outside at LSU and then you finished maybe your last 2 years at DS?
Yeah, it was kind of a roller coaster of what my role was. But yeah, freshman year I was hitting. Sophomore year I tore my PCL, so I was kind of out that entire time. And then junior year I was an outside hitter again when we made our tournament run and beat Hawaii that first round.
Oh,
And
no.
then kind of I know, I had to add that in, come on. And then my senior year, I was kind of back and forth between outside and DS. Really never had stability there, but that was kind of the journey. And then LMU, I will be going back to being like a full-time outside, doing what I love.
Well, I mean, I don't know if are you pushing 6 feet?
Whew, no, I am pushing like 5'10",
Yeah.
sadly.
And I mean, I know those SEC middles are probably 6'3", 6'4", so
At least.
it's pretty tough. I didn't have this on the list, but I just wanted to get your thoughts and maybe share some advice to some of the high school volleyball girls now who have dreams of playing at an LSU type or in the SEC. Just how do you go in? What's the expectations going in, one, and what is the biggest difference from playing high school ball versus college ball, especially at a level like that?
Yeah, I would say, I guess start off, the biggest difference is probably just being able to get used to playing against girls who are, yeah, like 3, 4 years older than you. I mean, you do that in high school, right? But when you go to college, it's at a different level. I mean, these girls have been training collegiately for 3 and 4 years, which kind of gives them that edge. I think, the block's bigger, they're tougher, serves tougher, swings are harder. So I would say just getting used to the speed. And yeah, I think the physical level gets a little bit higher in college as well. But I would say, like everything, it's just a learning curve. I wouldn't say that to deter anybody, but just going into it, expecting that and expecting that there will be a little bit of a gap to fill. But for most people, that happens in over the summer or in preseason or even a year sometimes. But it comes to everybody for sure and nothing to really worry about. And then advice generally going in is just while you're in high school, get those passing reps in, learn how to pass. I'd say that's probably the most important skill, if anything, I guess, unless you're maybe a middle. I guess it's not too big of a deal, but I would say every other position, if you can pass or play defense really well, you'll probably find a spot on the court. Because I think at that level, everyone is, 6 foot or jumps this high and can figure out how to score a point. But I think the harder aspect of that is being able to pass balls.
Talking with Paige Flickinger, uh, former high school All-American and 2020 grad from Byron Nelson. So yeah, your last season of eligibility with Loyola Marymount in California. It's only indoor.
Yeah, I'm just going down there from June to December and just doing indoor.
What was the decision in choosing them?
I tell you, it was a quick process because I went in the portal back in December and I really wanted to find my where I was going to be going for the next year before I came back to LSU for beach season. So that kind of shortened things up even more. But I'd say the biggest things I was looking for was just, coach and a staff that was going to believe in me as a player and in my last year of eligibility, somewhere I could spend that playing and helping a team win games. And then another thing I look for was I want to win a conference in my last year, something I wasn't ever able to do at LSU and be kind of cherry on top if I was able to finish my career winning the WCC and LMU competes for that year after year. And I'm really excited about our chances this year for sure.
Kind of backtracking here back to LSU, but LSU is known for their athletics, especially football. Um, but you're juggling volleyball during the same season. Um, I don't know. Did you have time to go to many LSU football games, and what's that atmosphere like?
Yeah, I'll add that into my advice as well for people wanting to play in the SEC. When they take you to a football game, you will be don't get too excited because you're gonna go to like 7 max. I mean, I was there 4 years, maybe went to 7. I think I got to see, I think it was 2 SEC games, which of course were the most fun. And yeah, so don't get too hung up on that. But meanwhile, the games I did get to go to, wow, it was such a crazy atmosphere. I mean, I think especially being at LSU, the Cajuns know how to have fun and get rowdy, right? So Death Valley was always pretty loud, and those fans know how to show up. I think when we would be able to go to a game, we would kind of do it all. We'd, be at the tailgates before, we'd go the whole game. So we got the full experience when we could. And there's not a time where I'm like walking up and down the tailgates and someone's like, "Oh, come try my gumbo. Come over here. You hungry? You want some food?" Like they are just the kindest people ever. And yeah, Louisiana fans are different.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Derek Johnson, big LSU fan. I've heard good things, and I've seen a lot of really fun photos. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah, I'll be back for a game for sure. And the whenever fall I'm free next, I'll be back.
and not like you have enough time, but does LMU even have football?
No, they don't have football team.
Well, I mean, at least you'll be in sunny California, probably next to the beach.
Exactly. That does not hurt being right next to a beach. I mean, I'm probably living, I think like 7 minutes from it. I mean, I'm right there. But yeah, football wasn't huge for me in the process because I was like, well, now I know for my 4 years I don't get to go to any anyways, so it's all good.
All right, like I mentioned earlier, you know, one of the top volleyball players to come through DFW in the state, two-time Gatorade Texas Player of the Year, 2019 state champ. I can list all your accolades, but this show would take hours. Yeah, it's been a few years since you've played high school ball, but it was always fun to watch you and see some of the stats you put up. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss playing high school ball?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd say maybe around 6. I don't know. I had a great time. Like no complaints on my career. Loved every second of it. I was able to be on a great team, have great coaches, but I've also, loved having to play college volleyball. I guess I miss it some, but not a ton because I'm happy where I'm at now. But again, super grateful for my experience then.
You guys won in 2019. I mean, I've been to a handful of state games in Garland, and I mean, I got to put that 6A title game against Plano West probably number one. Going 5 matches. I mean, what do you remember about that match?
I feel like it's literally still a blur. Like, oh my gosh. But I just remember, yeah, the 5 matches making that real close. And I remember how I feel like that place pretty packed. I don't know, you've been to more state championship games than I have, but I feel like the energy there was pretty insane. I think both sides brought a huge crowd. So I remember that being a fun game.
And what do you remember about that season? Did it feel like a state championship team in August?
Definitely. I mean, we started off that year, yeah, pretty hot. It was a lot of fun. I think that was the year we went to Hawaii, or am I mixing them up?
Yeah, I think so. You guys finished
Yeah.
second.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we started off going to Hawaii, like already a crazy experience. And then we finished really well in that tournament against some really good teams. And then, yeah, it just did. I think we won the games, we won the close ones, and then ending with right before state ish, the Flower Mound game, kind of our revenge game. I think once we won that one, we knew we were on a good track. That was a huge game.
Yeah, I think you guys finished 50-2 maybe. Some-
Yeah,
Something
I
crazy.
think one of the two being in Hawaii, like okay,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it definitely felt like it from the start. There was a different energy in there for sure.
I've been covering extensively volleyball for the last 8 years. If I did a top if I did a top five high school games I've covered in person, I mean, you guys, Byron Nelson's probably got at least four of them. I mean, you got Plano West, you got the at Salt Lake Carroll, which I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I think that was your junior year
Yeah, I think so. That was a great one too.
when you guys were down 0-2 and you came back in five,
Reverse sweep, yeah.
and then obviously Flower Mound part one. Yeah, part one at the Colony, Flower Mound part two at Northwest. Some of the biggest crowds I've ever
Oh,
seen, but I don't know. Is there one that tops it all? Is it that Flower Mound game that senior year?
I would say the Flower Mound senior year one. I would say the junior one's probably the second. We lost and it was horrible, heartbreaking. But again, like the environment was unreal. It was great volleyball was played. I mean, we were back and forth the whole time. But yeah, getting the win at Northwest, I think the crowd maybe was even a little bit bigger with such a small gym. So yeah, that place was bumping and yeah, getting the win was huge. That was like a revenge tour for us.
Byron hasn't been around too long. I want to say maybe
Pretty
15 years at least.
Mm.
Why did volleyball take off so quickly? I think I want to say all 4 years for you, you made at least the third round. Maybe I
I
think
think so.
I think freshman year you went to the regional tournament in Glen Rose. Maybe lost to
Yeah.
Hebron or Martin, one of those two schools. But
Yeah, I think Martin.
why why do you think volleyball has been such a big hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think this like kind of trophy club area is pretty big in like the club volleyball scene. And I think, club and high school go hand in hand for sure. And I think the more girls that you have playing club volleyball, playing on these club teams, getting training kind of year round, the better athletes they're going to be and the better the sport they're going to be. So I think that plays a huge part in that. I mean, other than that, not sure, just built different down here in Trophy Club. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, club volleyball is probably the biggest part.
I mean, it's in the name, right? Trophy,
Yeah, there you go. Right.
a bunch of trophies. I'll get you out on this. Your high school head coach, Bree Growth, was in the news last year. I saw a story about the morning news. Some, parents or players trying to maybe get her out of there, but she was able to get support from the school district and other coaches in DFW, and as well as other players and parents like you and your family. Just um, what was your relationship like with her in high school, and kind of what was your reaction to those rumors?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say in high school, we had a pretty close relationship. I mean, her coming in and having the background of all of her state titles and awards and just coming from such a huge volleyball family and playing at OU, being a shorter setter who balled out, ran a 5-1. I mean, coming in, the respect I had for her was already pretty high because, she had done all the things that I'd hoped to do in my career. And she was someone that I immediately sought out and was like kind of a mentor to me a little bit because, you want to learn from the best. And I'd say that relationship kind of continued on the 2 years I had with her. And yeah, it was really great to have someone like her around, guiding me and giving me help with recruiting and just navigating the sport as I got older and what to expect for college. But yeah, I mean, I loved Bree from every moment of all of her coaching and, all the practices. And of course, with how much we won, you can give a lot of credit. We had a great team for sure, but, you know, you need a good coach behind it for us to win the games that we did, and especially the closer ones. But yeah, I was really shocked to hear when all the allegations came out. And yeah, I had experienced none of that in my time and was just, yeah, really shocked about it. And of course, through all my support to Bree, through everything that she's helped me with, it was the right thing to do and the way that I'd felt, me and my family especially. And yeah, I'm glad that after I guess that ISD did their own investigation and ended up backing Bree. And I'm really glad it worked out that way because she definitely deserves that job, that role, and whatever she wants out of coaching for sure.
Yeah, she's one of the best, and
Hmm.
obviously I'm a Sooner diehard, so that helps too.
Yeah, yeah, it
Uh,
doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
so what's these next few months look like for you as you get ready for California? I know you still uh kind of help with TAV, or at least maybe go to train and practice with TAV.
Yeah, TAV is really great for their alumni. They have been great in scheduling, some practices for a bunch of the college girls to come back and train a little bit before they head back to school. And yeah, I think getting in the gym with them, just trying to get my touch back on the indoor game. And of course, a lot of lifting, got to stay strong. But I head out to California pretty soon here, like in a week or two. And from there, it'll just be training with the team and getting in the gym with the girls. And then before you know it, fall will be here.
Awesome, awesome. I see maybe you're in some sort of game room or man cave. Um,
A little bit of a game room here.
well, I was thinking, where are those Player of the Year awards, and where's your championship ring?
Championship, those are over in my room. They are. I got them propped up, of course. Gotta.
So you didn't take the ring at all to LSU?
No, I ended up leaving it all here. Again, super proud of those accomplishments and great time in my life. But once I went to college, kind of had to leave it behind, pave a new way for myself. That was
And
kind of my view on it.
I would be walking around campus with it.
That ring is hawking. I will say that's a big ring.
Well, awesome, Paige. Thank you for joining me. And like I've said before, it was a joy and pleasure to watch you play at Byron Nelson. Always sort of in awe. It didn't matter the next game, you just surprised me even more. And congrats on all your success, and wish you the best here at Loyola Marymount.
Thank you so much. Those are such kind words. I appreciate it, Brian.
All right. Again, that's Paige Flickinger. She's headed to Loyola Marymount in California. And this is another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Gray Wolf Promotions. If you want to check out some of the best high school fan gear, check them out, www.graywolfpromotions.com, as well as our site, gmsportsmedia.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.